Hello and welcome to another playthrough by Hillshire. As you can tell, today we are going to be playing Scooby Doo Classic Creep Capers, published by THQ November 30th for the N64. A game of the same name was released for the Game Boy Color about a year later on February 20th. However, the two titles are incredibly different. But like I said, we're going to be playing the N64 version here. It was developed by Terraglyph Interactive Studios. But about 4 years prior to the game being released, stockholders decided that the company wasn't making enough money, so they more or less scrapped the development portion of Terraglyph Interactive Studios. But we still get to play one of their creations here. I'm going to turn down the game audio just a bit. I am playing on an emulator. I do own the game, but I do not have my N64 hooked up. Now, this video is going to go a little bit longer because I want to touch a bit on what I'm going to be doing for this LP. I want to... The game is based loosely... 3 of its episodes are based loosely on the Scooby Doo Where Are You series. The 4th one is completely original to the game. For the 3 that are based on the TV show, I'm going to explain a bit about, you know, how close they get to recreating it, and where they kind of make their own. For today's episode, I'm going to touch on the episode What a Night for a Night. I know I keep saying episode a lot, but they both share the same thing, so it's gonna get a little weird. Stay with me. Today's episode is based on What a Night for a Night. It was the very first episode of the Scooby Doo Where Are You series. Kind of fitting. On the TV show, it starts with Scooby-Doo and Shaggy have gone to see a movie late at night. They happen upon a pickup truck, and there's, you know, a suit of knight's armor in the front seat. Well, in the game, as you'll see here shortly, it doesn't really happen like that. They do end up going to a museum if you've seen the episode, so that still stays the same, and there is a Black Knight. There's a little bit in the TV show about a full moon. Game kind of just doesn't really care about that. A couple characters get dropped. In the show, there is a character named Professor Jameson Hyde White. He's not here. However, they do get the museum curator, Mr. Wickles. It's most of this is unimportant, but I felt like sharing it a bit. Let's see. Now, the Black Knight himself gets a few changes. His suit of armor has a feather on his head. And in the game, it's blue. In the show, it was red, as you can see him right now, strutting across the screen. Armor also has a few other small design differences. He also yells at the characters in the games, much as he did in the show. However, it's a bit different, and I'm not really surprised considering there isn't really much original voice acting here. They mostly take sound bites from the TV show. Sorry this is going so long, but I just want to get it out of the way. I will continue to do this for the other 2 show-based episodes in the game. We might as well get it started now, because more or less you'll see the changes and I can point them out as we go. Let me turn the audio back up. There we go. Now, the game gives all of its story in text. You rarely get any sort of audio, and if it is, it's just a sound clip, which you'll see here in a moment. Oh, you can barely hear that. Even I can barely hear it. The game is very quiet. Since it's just text, I don't really feel bad talking over some of this. As you can see there, he yelled zoinks, but they basically just took that straight from the show. They didn't call in any actors. Now, get used to hearing those noises because they'll make those noises for most of the game. Oh, looks like we have a car crash. This is familiar to the episode. Now, we get a little bit of gameplay, which is one of the nice things about this game. You more or less jump right into it. Um, I don't really want to touch the bats. You can see here, I'll show it off. Yep, Scooby and Shaggy are so scared of everything that even being touched by a bat that they can clearly see scares them. Well, Shaggy decides the truck is on fire and maybe we should do something. This is supposed to be the pickup truck that comes from the episode. However, we don't see a suit of armor. In fact, there's really not much here. There's... Oh, and I'll skip this. Mostly press A to pick up items, search for items, all sorts of things. Fire extinguisher. Like, it might come in handy. Okay. This is really all we find here. They also tell you how to open the inventory with the R or the Z button. An A button to activate, and then close again, and then you basically use it with A. We got a shipping invoice for the county museum. The name says R. Necros. That has a lot to do with how this game differs from the show. There was no invoice such as that in the show. Handkerchief with the letter W embroidered on it. And more or less, there's not really much mystery in the game itself, as there aren't really many characters to create mystery. Scooby snacks, as seen here on the ground, they will restore your courage meter, which is this game's health bar. Now that I've put the car out with the fire extinguisher, I can leave the screen. If I hadn't done that, Shaggy would have said, "Hey, we should do something about that, that fire." But I can leave now. Now, he's called the gang to the museum, is what is supposed to have happened here. There's not really much in between. This does happen in the episode as well. And this is the character Mr. Wickles. Now his design is faithful to the show. There isn't really anything different about him. Now I'll try and keep the text on long enough that you can see what's going on and read for yourself the story, what little this game has. As Mr. Wickles keeps scratching himself. Oh god, puns. Now, as Shaggy tells us here, we will be collecting clues and trap pieces throughout the game. Now, when we pick them up, such as this handkerchief, I open the menu. A to select, R to close, and A again to give them the clue. Freddy will hold on to all of our trap pieces and clues. And we'll give him the invoice as well, get that out of the way. He doesn't really have much to say about anything, so it's more or less just something to just collect. Now, much like the episode, we're going to climb into the upper story to get inside the museum. And there's a convenient ladder right there that will let us do this. And just A to climb up the ladder, get inside, and get this mystery on the go. As you can see, the rooms up here are pretty dark. And we have a security guard here. Now, if we're anywhere in front of him, it doesn't necessarily have to be in his flashlight. And we can't enter any of these rooms because it's too dark. If we get in front of him anywhere, he will blow his whistle and start chasing us. Let's just collect this headdress here because it's blinking. And when something's blinking in a game, clearly that means it's important. Alright, well, that done, we'll go the only place... Hey, look, another blinky thing. And we'll go to the only place I can actually go, and that's this elevator. And on the first floor, as Shaggy's eyes bounce around in his head, we see paintings from other Hanna-Barbera cartoons. A couple I don't recognize, most I do. And, well, there really isn't much to do on this floor yet, so we might as well let, the gang inside the building. And Shaggy will remind you if you take more than 10 seconds. Now, the museum itself, for the game, sort of matches the museum from the show, but there is a bit missing. I'm not really going to explain that much. It doesn't really affect anything here. But those of you who have seen the episode will notice the differences. Now, they don't really explain why the lights get turned on, or even where the light switches are. But, again, not really important, I suppose. It's a game. You just do game things, right?
Waggy?
And I hope you enjoy that noise. Uh-oh. Looks like we've lost Velma, but that's okay. She didn't have any voice acting to begin with. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't take Daphne, considering she's usually the one that goes missing. Well, we might as well explore the first floor first. Let's step into the Egyptian wing. Scooby Snacks over there, that's usually not a good sign. Oh, 2 Scooby Snacks, alright. Now, as another sign of how easily scared Shaggy and Scooby are, which they were kind of wusses in the show too. Oh boy, a sarcophagus. Oh, I opened it and it hurt me. Yes, everything in this game will scare Scooby and Shaggy, more or less. What you want to do is head straight to this one, which doesn't scare you, luckily, and pick up this item. It's a bag of sand. Well, we'll do stuff with that later. I can grab one of these Scooby Snacks here. Yep. Hope you enjoy hearing that, too, because he says that every time you pick up a Scooby Snack. It's not a poorly designed level. I also have to point out the ground. That is an issue with the emulator, not the game itself. So I apologize for the texture issues. Oh! Now, this part messes you up more if you think about what's going to happen, rather than just keep walking forward. You see here to the left, there's an image that clearly looks like Shaggy and Scooby. Well, we did pick up an Egyptian headdress a few moments ago. Step a little closer, and here comes the Black Knight. Now he will continue to chase us around until I run around here, Scooby attempting to get in my way there for a second. And I just do this. And even though he saw me clearly just a second ago, he won't think anything of it. Now, the reason we do this is so that I can run back here and grab this. Oh, Velma's glasses. If you hadn't used the little hidey hole, he would have chased you down the tunnel and blocked you in, as there is no escape. Even Scooby's having some trouble there. He'll block you in and just keep basically yelling at you, making you lose health until you you don't really die in this game. You more or less get forced to run to a different room, whereupon you would have lost the glasses. They don't let you keep those, because that would be a little bit of, you know, a little game breaking, since you wouldn't have to hide. You could just run back there, grab the glasses, and everything would be good. It's fine, it's whatever. I tend to have an issue with that part if I think too hard about what's going to happen, as I forget that there's a painting there and I just run up and run back, and I completely forget that's where I need to use the headdress. Now, let's head into the prehistoric wing. Now, okay, this makes sense. They have just a dinosaur here, sideways. That'd be a cool little museum piece. However, what's this? What's this? What museum would have dinosaurs that reach out, such as that, to smack people walking by? And it's not just in the front. No, he also has a tail in the back that swings and could crack somebody in the face. Now, it's a game, I'm not too concerned with it, but it just seems like an interesting design choice by the museum. This especially. What the hell? And you mostly are just trying to dodge all the dinosaurs here. They don't do a whole lot of damage on each hit, so... Oh my god, that noise. They don't do a lot of damage per hit, so it's okay to get hit a couple times. And what do we have here? Oh, looks like we found Velma with a very creepy smile on her face. And just like the show, not so much this episode, we need to find her glasses. Actually, a similar scene does happen in the episode. However, it's not in the dinosaur wing. And she will sit here until we get her glasses. Good thing we went to the Egyptian wing first. Luckily, she teleports us back out, so we don't have to run the gauntlet again. Don't worry, we'll be doing it again later regardless. And back to looking for clues. However, now the gang will be waiting for us here in the lobby. And as the game's little hint to us, we need to more or less go to where the kitchen is. And if you've been paying attention, on the second floor, there was a cafeteria. And Shaggy reminds us again to give them clues and trap pieces. After I'm done handing them the little items here, we're going to end this video. And we'll start up again in just a few moments. I'll catch y'all next time.